Hey everyone, welcome back to the Side Hustle Weekend podcast. My name is Ankit, and I'm the founder of Thrillverse Media and author of over 20 best-selling fiction novels. I started the Side Hustle Weekend community after noticing something very powerful. People with multiple income streams weren't just surviving tough times, they were thriving through them. Even if you're earning great money at your job right now, having side income gives you options and security that one paycheck just can't provide. Every week, our team gets together to talk about what's actually working in the world of side hustles and passive income. These conversations were too good to keep to ourselves, so we decided to start recording them for you. We're calling it the Side Hustle Weekend Podcast. But first, let me introduce you to your hosts for today. Meet Sarah Mitchell. She took AI tools and turned them into a legitimate six-figure business. Her insights on using AI for automation and scaling will blow your mind. And then there's Alex Parker. When he's not helping startups scale their operations, he's in the trenches, testing new side hustles and documenting what really works. In each episode, they dive into exciting new opportunities in the world of side hustles and passive income. So grab your coffee, take some notes, and let's talk about making money smarter, not harder. Also, before we start, hit that like button, share, and subscribe to join our Weekend Hustlers community. Turn on notifications so you don't miss our episodes where we break down more side hustle strategies. Over to you, Sarah and Alex, and I'll catch up with you at the end of the podcast.
All right, get ready because today we are taking a deep dive into the business moves of Roger Federer.
Yeah.
We're going to figure out how he went from like a tennis prodigy with a pretty average Nike deal to becoming like $1 million athlete.
It's pretty incredible.
We've got a bunch of great sources for this, deep dive articles, YouTube videos, the whole shebang.
Nice.
So we can really get the full picture.
Yeah, it's a crazy story, honestly.
Yeah.
Federer's story is a perfect example of why it's so important for athletes to really get their brand.
For sure.
To build like smart partnerships and know their worth, especially when they're dealing with what might feel like a setback.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
So let's rewind all the way back to 1994.
Okay.
Federer's just this 13-year-old kid.
Wow.
But Nike sees something in him, right?
They do.
They offer him this 5-year deal worth $500,000 plus bonuses.
Big money back then.
Yeah, big gamble for both sides, right?
Huge.
What if he had like peaked in high school?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Like who could have predicted what Federer would become? But this is where Nike's like amazing talent scouting comes in.
Yeah, they're famous for it.
They have a knack for seeing potential, and they were willing to take that gamble.
Yeah.
Imagine how relieved they were when Federer starts winning all those junior titles, and then boom, Wimbledon win against Sampras in 2001.
Talk about a game changer.
Right.
Suddenly Federer's not just some promising player, he's the world #1.
Exactly.
Nike's investment starts to look pretty genius.
Yeah.
And Federer's marketability just shoots through the roof. But here's the thing, he doesn't just like ride that wave, you know? He starts making these really smart business decisions early on.
Yeah, for sure. Like he knew that his image, you know,
Yeah.
the way he played, even his personality off the court, it all played into his brand value.
Yeah.
He was building something much bigger than just winning matches.
Totally. Okay, so fast forward to 2018.
All right.
Federer's 36. He's already a legend at this point.
Oh, yeah.
With 20 Grand Slam titles under his belt.
Wow.
His contract with Nike is up.
Okay. And this is where things get really interesting.
Oh,
Because Nike doesn't offer him a deal that reflects his status in the tennis world.
what?
I know, shocking.
Yeah, especially considering Nike's history of building these huge athlete brands like Air Jordan.
Totally.
But apparently they had this rule about not spending more than 10% of their revenue on endorsements.
Oh, wow.
They already had big names like Serena Williams and Rafael Nadal.
Yeah.
So even Federer, with all of his accomplishments,
Huh.
wasn't worth breaking the bank for them, it seems.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know.
I mean, Federer was still at the top of his game.
Right.
But Nike just seemed okay with letting him walk away.
Wow.
So then comes Uniqlo, this Japanese casual wear brand with an offer that just blows Nike's out of the water.
Really?
$30 million a year for 10 years.
Wow.
Guaranteed, even after he retired.
No way.
That's triple what Nike was paying.
Oh my goodness.
Federer basically secured his financial future for life with that deal.
That's where you really see Federer's business smarts, you know? Yeah.
He knew what he was worth. Even though he was nearing the end of his playing days,
Yeah.
he negotiated a long-term, really high-value deal,
Uh-huh.
something that was unheard of at the time for an athlete his age.
For sure.
It really set a new standard for sports endorsements.
Totally. But there was this little wrinkle in the deal.
What's that?
Uniqlo, they didn't make shoes.
Oh, right.
And Nike still owned the rights to that iconic RF logo.
Yeah, the RF logo.
Can you imagine Federer without his RF?
It's like Superman without the cape.
Exactly.
It was a tricky situation.
Yeah.
We saw Federer wearing Nike shoes with his Uniqlo gear for a while.
Uh-huh.
Like he was walking this legal tightrope.
Yeah.
The RF logo was a major sticking point.
For sure.
Both sides were facing potential trademark infringement issues if they kept using it without some kind of agreement.
So what happened? Did they end up in some epic legal battle over this logo?
Not quite in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Federer's company Tenro AG stepped in and bought back the RF logo from Nike.
Wow, what a power move.
It was bold. It really showed his commitment to controlling his brand and his legacy.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to just be a face for other companies.
Mm-hmm.
He was building his own empire.
That's so smart. It's like he took a page out of Michael Jordan's playbook.
Yeah.
Owning your logo gives you so much power, and it shows you're thinking long-term. You're not just focused on short-term endorsements.
Exactly. And this wasn't just about business for Federer. This was about his identity.
Yeah.
As an athlete, as a brand.
Mm-hmm.
He was taking control of his own story, both on and off the court.
Love that. All right, so speaking of bold moves, let's talk about on running.
Okay.
So you've got this relatively unknown Swiss performance shoe company trying to compete with giants like Nike and Adidas.
Right.
And Federer decides to partner with them.
Interesting.
And it's not your typical endorsement deal either.
Oh.
He becomes a brand ambassador, a design partner, and an investor.
Wow.
With a 3% stake in the company, what was he thinking?
I think this is where the Roger Federer effect starts to become clear.
Okay.
It wasn't just a calculated business decision. It was a personal connection. His wife wore on shoes. He saw how popular they were in Switzerland.
Right.
And he really believed in their product.
Okay.
Federer wasn't just lending his name to a brand. He was betting on his future.
So he saw something in Ongor that maybe the rest of the world hadn't quite caught on to yet.
Exactly like Nike seeing that spark in him when he was just a teenager.
Totally.
And let's be real. On Running was doing things differently.
Yeah, how so?
They were focused on direct-to-consumer sales. They partnered with specific retailers, and they were leading the way with their innovative technology.
Wow.
They weren't afraid to challenge the way things were done, and Federer saw that as a winning strategy.
Okay, so Federer takes his gamble on, and then bam, in 2021, they go public with an $11 billion valuation.
Wow.
Suddenly, that 3% stake he has is worth an estimated $330 million.
Talk about a return on investment.
Incredible, right?
Yeah, shows Federer's long-term vision.
For sure.
He didn't see On Running as just a shoe company, but as a brand built on innovation, sustainability, and performance, values that perfectly aligned with his own.
Yeah.
And by being a part of it, he got to share in its amazing success.
So while Nike was focused on their 10% rule and letting go of these huge names, Federer is out here building his own brand, partnering with a rising star, and turning what could have been a major setback into this massive win.
It's amazing.
It's almost like Nike totally underestimated him.
It seems that way looking back.
Yeah.
But to be fair to Nike, their decision to let Federer go was part of a larger trend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were starting to scale back their presence in tennis.
Interesting.
They dissolved their dedicated tennis team, and they were dealing with all the fallout from those player scandals and the retirement of major stars.
So they were kind of moving away from tennis as a whole.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Maybe they didn't see the same potential for growth compared to, say, basketball with the Jordan brand.
Could be.
Makes you wonder if they regret letting the RF logo slip through their fingers.
Yeah, it's hard to say for sure, but it's an interesting question.
Totally.
They definitely missed a chance to capitalize on the RF brand the way they did with Jordan.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Imagine the RF logo right alongside the Jumpman.
That would have been epic.
Two iconic athletes that went way beyond their sports.
Yeah.
But it really highlights something important about brand management.
What's that?
It's not just about signing big names. It's about recognizing the long-term value of an asset.
Right.
And having a plan to build that brand over time.
Okay, so we've seen how Federer secured those long-term deals, took control of his brain, and made that smart bet on running.
Yeah.
But we need to talk more about this Roger Federer effect you mentioned.
Okay.
What exactly is it about him that makes him so marketable?
It's more than just being a great tennis player. right? It's his whole persona, his style, his elegance, his image as a family man and a philanthropist. All of these things play into his huge appeal.
For sure.
He's not just selling products. He's selling a lifestyle.
I see.
A set of values that people really connect with.
It's like he embodies this idea of effortless success both on and off the court.
Yeah.
He's stylish without being flashy. He's competitive but always respectful. And he seems genuinely kind and approachable.
Exactly.
No wonder brands are lining up to work with him.
Yeah, and that authenticity is key.
Yeah.
People can spot a fake a mile away.
Totally.
But with Federer, you get the sense that what you see is what you get.
Right.
He's not putting on an act. He's just being himself.
Yeah.
And that's incredibly appealing both to brands and to people in general.
All right, so we've seen how Federer secured those long-term deals, took control of his brand, made that savvy bet on running. But what's the big takeaway here? What can our listener learn from Federer's journey?
I think Federer's story shows us that an athlete's business skills can be just as valuable as their athletic talent. It's about thinking strategically, building your brand, and recognizing opportunities. It's about knowing your worth and not being afraid to make bold moves to achieve your goals.
It's like he's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers.
Exactly.
He's always thinking several steps ahead, always looking for the long-term advantage.
And it's not just about the money.
Right.
It's about building a legacy, creating something that will last beyond your time in the spotlight.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've seen how Federer went from that early Nike deal to becoming a global brand.
Yeah, we have.
But there's still so much more to explore.
Oh, yeah, tons.
You haven't even touched on his specific partnerships with Uniqlo and On Running in detail.
Right.
And then there's the whole question of the Roger Federer effect
Yeah.
and what makes him so uniquely marketable.
So much more to unpack.
There's a lot more to unpack here. Well, luckily for us and for our listener, this is just part one of our deep dive into Roger Federer's business savvy.
Stay tuned.
So stay tuned because we'll be back soon to delve even deeper into this fascinating story.
It's a good one. It's amazing to think about how Federer turned that whole thing with Nike into a springboard for even greater success.
Oh, yeah.
Like he was playing 4D chess while everyone else was still figuring out checkers.
For real, he could have easily just signed another deal with Nike,
Right.
maybe even for less money, just to stay with that familiar brand.
Yeah.
But instead, he looked at the bigger picture, made those bold moves,
So
and came out on top.
that's resilience and vision right there.
Totally.
It's a lesson for all of us, whether it's business or just life in general.
Yeah.
Sometimes what seems like a setback
Uh-huh.
can actually open up a whole new path to success.
So true. Okay, let's dive into those specific partnerships. We talked about Uniqlo and On Running,
Yeah.
but there's a lot more to uncover, starting with Uniqlo.
Okay.
They're known for their high-quality functional clothes,
Right.
but they're not exactly a flashy brand, are they?
No, they're definitely more on the understated side.
Yeah.
More about that timeless style than trendy looks,
Right.
which actually aligns perfectly with Federer's image.
Yeah.
He's all about classic elegance,
Yeah.
both on and off the court.
Totally. It's a partnership that just makes sense.
Yeah.
Plus, they offered him that insane deal, $30 million a year for 10 years.
Hard to say no to that.
I know, even if he didn't love their clothes, that's tough to turn down.
Right.
But it seems like it was more than just the money for Federer.
It was, yeah.
He was really hands-on in the design process, wasn't he?
Absolutely. He wasn't just a face for the brand.
Uh-huh.
He was actively involved in shaping it.
I like that.
He helped design his own line of clothing, bringing in his personal style and preferences.
Yeah.
And this goes back to what we were talking about before. You know, Federer's all about controlling his brand and creating something that reflects his values.
Totally. It's like he's saying, I'm not just going to wear your clothes.
Yeah.
I'm going to help you make them better.
Exactly.
And Uniqlo was smart enough to give him that creative freedom.
They knew that his input would make their brand even better and appeal to a much wider audience.
A total win-win.
For sure, Uniqlo got access to Federer's huge global fan base.
Right.
And Federer got to be part of building something he truly believed in.
Okay, now let's talk On Running.
Right.
This was a much smaller, much less established brand when Federer partnered with them.
It was.
What do you think drew him to them? Was it just the potential for a massive payday if they went public?
I think it was more than that. Remember, Federer's wife was already a big fan of On shoes.
Oh, that's right.
So he had that personal connection to the brand.
Okay.
He saw how popular they were becoming in Switzerland.
Yeah.
And he recognized their innovative approach to shoe technology.
So he was intrigued by their product,
Yeah.
but he also saw their potential for growth. He saw that On was challenging those big players in the market. With their direct-to-consumer model, their focus on specialty stores and their commitment to performance and sustainability.
Exactly.
And let's not forget, Federer's a pretty active guy, even in retirement.
That's true.
I bet he wanted to wear shoes that could keep up with him, whether he's playing tennis with his kids or just going for a run.
Makes sense.
So he invests in Ono, becomes a brand ambassador, helps design shoes, and bam, they go public with that huge $11 billion valuation.
It's like he predicted the future.
I know.
Well, maybe not predict, but he definitely had a good eye for potential.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that sometimes taking a calculated risk can pay off big time.
Totally.
Especially when you believe in the product and the people behind it.
Okay, so we've talked about Uniqlo on running that whole saga with the RF logo.
Yeah.
But let's circle back to this Roger Federer effect.
Right.
What is it about him that makes him so universally appealing?
It's more than just winning tennis matches. It's that special mix of talent, style, grace, and genuine humility.
Yeah.
He's such a fierce competitor on the court. But off the court, he's known for his kindness, his philanthropy, his dedication to his family.
Right.
He's like the perfect package.
He's like the real-life Captain America, except with a tennis racket instead of a shield.
I could see that.
But seriously, people are drawn to him because he embodies these aspirational qualities.
Yeah.
Excellence, integrity, and a commitment to making a positive impact.
And he does it all with this effortless charm and charisma.
Exactly. And brands recognize that.
Oh, yeah.
They know that partnering with Federer isn't just about selling stuff. It's about aligning themselves with his values.
Right.
That image of effortless success.
It's about tapping into that Federer effect.
Right.
And making their brand a little bit more aspirational, a little classier, a little more, well, Federer-esque.
I love it. And it works. Think about all the brands he's associated with.
Yeah.
Rolex, Mercedes-Benz, Credit Suisse. These are all high-end brands that embody luxury, performance, sophistication. And Federer just fits right in.
He elevates their image, and they in turn enhance his brand.
It's like a mutually beneficial halo effect.
Yeah.
They make each other look good.
Exactly.
But let's not forget, Federer isn't just a pretty face for these brands.
No way.
He's actively shaping their message and their products.
Yeah.
He's bringing his own ideas and insights to the table.
Just like he did with Uniqlo and On Running.
Right. He's not just passively endorsing these brands.
No.
He's working with them, collaborating with them,
Yeah.
making sure their message aligns with his values,
Right.
and that their products meet his high standards.
He's a true partner.
Totally. So we've seen how Federer's built his brand, secured those big deals, made those savvy investments. But there's another side to his success we haven't talked about yet.
What's that?
His philanthropy.
Oh, yeah. Right? He's not just about making money. He's about making a difference.
For sure.
He's been super active in supporting different charities.
Yeah.
Especially those focus on kids' education and well-being.
I was reading about his foundation, the Roger Federer Foundation.
Yeah.
They've been doing amazing work in Africa and Switzerland,
Incredible.
providing educational opportunities for kids who wouldn't normally have them.
It's awesome.
It seems like giving back is a core part of who he is.
Totally.
Both as a person and as a brand.
Absolutely. And that resonates with people, especially these days. When
Yeah.
people are looking for brands and individuals that are not just successful, but also purpose-driven.
Like that whole idea of conscious consumerism.
Exactly.
People want to support companies and people who are doing good in the world.
Right.
And Federer's philanthropy definitely boosts his appeal in that sense.
It makes him seem even more authentic, more human, more relatable.
Exactly. It shows that he's not just focused on building his own empire. He's about using his platform and his influence to make the world a better place.
Which is something we can all learn from.
Totally. Okay, so we've covered a lot here.
We have.
His partnerships with Uniqlo and running the RF logo saga, the Roger Federer effect, his philanthropy.
Yeah.
It's obvious that Federer's business sense goes way beyond just signing endorsements.
For sure.
He's created a global brand that reflects his values, his style, his commitment to being the best.
It's a remarkable story, and it's not over yet.
It's not.
Even in retirement. Federer is still a force in the business world.
Totally.
He's making strategic investments, starting new ventures, and using his influence to support causes he believes in.
But what about other athletes?
Yeah.
Are there others out there who've achieved this level of success off the court?
Oh, obviously.
Maybe not quite on Federer's level,
Right.
but still impressive in their own right.
There are definitely a few athletes who've made that jump from the playing field to the boardroom.
Like who?
When we talked about LeBron James and Michael Jordan, they're prime examples. But how about Serena Williams?
Oh, yeah. She's incredible.
She's not only a tennis legend, but she's become a powerful voice for women and girls.
Right.
A successful businesswoman and a fashion icon.
She's got her own clothing line, S by Serena.
Yeah.
And she's invested in tons of companies.
Including the Miami Dolphins.
That's right. And she's been really vocal about social justice issues, using her platform to fight for equality and change.
Exactly. She's showing the world that female athletes can be just as successful off the court as they are on it.
Yeah.
And she's inspiring a whole new generation of young women
For sure.
to dream big and break down barriers.
And speaking of breaking down barriers, how about Tiger Woods?
Oh, yeah. Tiger.
He completely changed the game of golf.
He did.
Brought a whole new audience to the sport
Yeah.
and built a massive brand,
Yeah.
despite facing some major obstacles along the way.
Tiger's story is definitely a roller coaster.
It is.
But his resilience and his ability to come back from adversity are truly inspiring.
Yeah.
He's a global icon, and his brand is still going strong.
Okay, so we've got Serena Tiger, LeBron, Michael Jordan,
Yeah.
all these incredibly successful athletes who've built these amazing business empires.
Yeah. What's the common thread?
Right. What's the secret sauce that helps them reach this level of success?
Well, besides their incredible talent in their sports,
Yeah.
they all share some key traits.
What?
They're all super driven and ambitious. They're not afraid to take risks.
Right.
And they're all really smart when it comes to building and managing their brands.
It's like they see their brand as another business.
Yeah.
Another competition they're determined to win.
Exactly.
They're not just sitting back collecting endorsement checks.
Nope.
They're actively involved in shaping their image, their partnerships, their investments.
And they know that their brand is about more than just money. It's about creating a legacy,
Yeah.
leaving their mark on the world, and inspiring others to reach their full potential.
So as we wrap up part 2 of our deep dive into Roger Federer's business savvy,
Yeah.
I want to leave our listener with this thought. You don't have to be a world-famous athlete to achieve success.
That's true.
The things we've learned from Federer,
Uh-huh.
from his strategic thinking to his commitment to excellence,
Right.
can be applied to any field, any industry,
Totally.
any pursuit, really.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
about having a vision, setting goals, and working hard to achieve them.
Yeah.
It's about finding the right people, taking calculated risks,
Yeah.
and never losing sight of your values.
And most importantly,
Yeah.
it's about using your success to make a positive impact on the world.
Couldn't agree more.
So whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur,
Yeah.
a seasoned business pro, or just someone looking to level up in life,
Yeah.
take a page from Roger Federer's playbook.
Good advice.
Be strategic, be bold, be authentic,
Talk to you.
and never underestimate the power of building a brand that reflects who you truly are.
And remember, success is a journey, not a destination.
So true.
So keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving to be the best version of yourself,
Yeah.
both on and off the court.
Okay, we're back for the final part of our deep dive into Roger Federer's business empire.
It's pretty wild how he's built this whole universe around himself.
I know, even after retiring from tennis.
It really shows the power of long-term thinking. You know, strategic planning and building a brand that people genuinely connect with.
Totally.
Federer didn't just ride the wave of his tennis success.
Right.
He created something much bigger, something that's going to keep growing for years to come.
It makes you wonder, are there any other athletes out there with that same potential? Who else is building a legacy that goes beyond their sport?
Well, we already talked about LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And they're definitely great examples. But let's think about some others. What about Serena Williams?
Oh, yeah, she's amazing.
She's not just a tennis icon.
Right.
She's also a powerful voice for women and girls,
For sure.
a successful businesswoman, and a total fashion trendsetter.
Serena's a force to be reckoned with, for sure.
Totally.
She's got her own clothing line, S by Serena, and she's invested in a bunch of companies.
Like the Miami Dolphins.
That's right. And she's been super vocal about social justice issues, using her platform to advocate for equality and change.
Exactly. She's proving that female athletes can be just as successful off the court.
Yeah,
And she's inspiring a whole generation of young women to reach for their dreams.
totally. And speaking of breaking barriers, What about Tiger Woods?
Oh, yeah. Tiger.
He revolutionized golf,
He did.
brought in a whole new audience,
Uh-huh.
and built a massive brand for himself.
Absolutely.
All while facing some serious challenges along the way.
Tiger's story is a wild one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But his resilience,
Huh.
his ability to bounce back from adversity, it's incredible.
So sure.
He's a global icon, and his brand is as strong as ever.
Okay, so we've got Serena Tiger, LeBron, Michael Jordan.
Yep.
All these crazy successful athletes who've built these huge business empires.
Impressive, right?
It is. What's the common denominator here? What's the secret ingredient that allows them to achieve this kind of success?
Well, besides their obvious talent in their respective sports,
Yeah.
they all share some key characteristics.
Okay, like what?
They're all super driven and ambitious. They're not afraid to take risks.
Right.
And they're all really smart when it comes to building and managing their brands.
It's like they approach their brand like it's another business.
Yeah.
Another competition. They're determined to win.
Totally.
They're not just sitting back and collecting those endorsement checks.
Nope.
They're actively involved in shaping their image, their partnerships, their investments.
Right. And they understand that their brand is about more than just making money. It's about building a legacy, making a difference in the world, and inspiring others.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Roger Federer's business genius,
Yeah.
I want to leave our listeners with this one thought.
Okay.
You don't have to be a superstar athlete to be successful.
That's so true.
The things we've learned from Federer,
Yeah.
his strategic thinking,
Yeah.
his commitment to excellence, these are all things that can be applied to any field, any industry,
Totally.
any pursuit, really.
Absolutely. It's about having a clear vision, setting goals, and working hard to reach them.
Yeah.
It's about surrounding yourself with good people, taking calculated risks, and never forgetting your values.
And most importantly, it's about using your success to make the world a better place.
Couldn't agree more.
So whether you're a budding entrepreneur, a seasoned business pro, or just someone looking to level up in life, take inspiration from Roger Federer.
Good advice.
Be strategic, be bold, be authentic,
Yep.
and never underestimate the power of building a brand that truly represents who you are.
And remember, success is a journey, not a destination.
Well said.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep pushing yourself to be the best version of you.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks, Sarah and Alex. That was an incredible discussion. You both always bring such practical insights to the table. For everyone watching, if you're ready to take action on what you learned today, here's where you can find more resources. First, head over to sidehustleweekend.com. We've put together detailed guides, templates, and case studies. And while you are there, don't miss out on our free newsletter, Side Hustle Weekend. If you found value in today's discussion, hit that like button and subscribe to join our Weekend Hustlers community. Turn on notifications so you don't miss our episodes where we break down more side hustle strategies. Check the description below for all the tools and resources we mentioned today. Remember, everyone's journey starts with a single step. Whether you're looking to make an extra $500 a month or build something bigger, start with what you learned today and take action. We'll see you in the next episode where we'll break down another practical way to grow your income. Keep hustling smarter, not harder.